Hi, I am Lydia and welcome back to Hwyl from home. I'm going to be taking you through a dynamic vinyasa today. We're going to be focusing a little bit on the back of the body, thinking about those forward folds, working through lengthening through the backs of the hamstrings. The class today is quite a classical taking of a longer version of a mandala. So thinking about if you practice mandala a lot, those circular movements around the mat, moving beyond that into the standing and seated elements. So I'm just going to distill that section of a class and put it into a dynamic vinyasa. So you might get a little bit of those feelings of somewhere that you've been standing, you might also come down to seated as well. So hopefully it'll be a little bit interesting in that sense. I have two bricks with me. You can use them, you don't need to use them, they are not vital for your practice, but just if you have them to hand, know that you can use them and reach for them whenever you need. Likewise, if you might have any belts or straps, then bring them to your mat as well. We are going to get started laying on our backs, so slowly when you are ready, start to bring ourselves down to that space. And we'll begin with the soles of the feet planted down towards the ground. And just taking time to rest and soften through the back of the head space here. Maybe you want to place your hands towards your bellies, or maybe you want to release the hands by the sides of the bodies and rotate the palms upwards to the sky. Taking time to close down through the eyes. Feeling the tone maybe start to shift a little bit into this place of settling or this space of landing. We might encourage that sense of landing by expanding our breath as we inhale and opening through the mouths as you exhale. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Long, deep breath, inhaling through the nose. Open mouth, release as we exhale out. And just maintaining stillness in this space. I teach a lot of my practices with this idea that we are coming at it from a physical understanding, taking time to really feel the spaces we move into, to feel into the sensation of the body as it takes on composition. So you can slightly almost just shift your brain out of your body for a little bit or place it a little bit deeper in towards the core or in towards the soul of the self. And just start to really listen and notice what is happening as you move through your practice. So with a firm connection through the left sole of the foot, so really purposeful and really with a lot of intention as it plants down, let's draw the right leg in towards the chest and just blink open the eyes. Interlace your hands and wrap the palms around the front of the shin. And actively start to squeeze your right thigh in towards your chest here, almost taking a little tuck of the pubic bone up towards the chin space. Breathing in towards that compression through the front of the hip line. And we expand as we inhale. And as we exhale, we start to release the right leg up towards the sky. And you can move your hands behind the back of the hamstring, bring flexion in towards the right foot. Maybe that's where you want to stay. Or bring your hands behind the back of the calf space here, keeping the flexion and the curling of the toes to the nose. Shoulders are heavy on the mat. Back of the spine is imprinted. Option if you want to take it, extend and lengthen through the left leg here. And what I want you to feel into is this sense of not necessarily pushing or forcing your body in any space, but trying to find intention in the lines that you are making, and then just softening within the container of the self. Noticing maybe how your breath changes or starts to react to the pose. And see if you can place the work just on feeling that sense of softness, equilibrium in the length of your inhales and the length of your exhales. Here for one more breath in through nose. And then as we exhale, if the left leg was long, place the left sole of the foot back down towards the ground and just releasing the right leg back down towards the floor space. And take a little moment just to really plant in towards the right foot. So heel is behind big toe. Draw the left leg in towards the chest, wrap the hands in front of the shin. As you can press that thigh in towards the stomach, there's a little tuck of that pubic bone up towards the chin space. Breathing into that sense of softness, relaxing through psoas. And then as you exhale, we start to extend the left leg high towards the sky, and hands can find either back of the leg. And if that feels okay, move the hands a little higher up towards the back of the ankles. But let's keep that strong flexion through the left foot here. And what I find really helpful, or something that really transforms this pose for me, is when I think about almost wrapping down through the outer side of the left hip here. So slightly changing the angle rather than pulling the leg up via the hip space, you're really allowing the hamstring to be long all the way from the inner to the outer edge of that left glute space almost. Shoulders can stay soft, flexion through the toes. Let's breathe into this through inhale. And as we exhale, let's take that bend in towards the left knee, and we can draw the left leg in towards the chest. We can draw the right leg in towards the chest to meet it, and take a rock up towards your sit bones, crossing at your ankles. And we'll start to step it back in towards a tabletop position here, pressing down through the palms of the hands. And as you press down through the palms of the hands, let's find tucked toes. And as you tuck through the toes, we're going to just take one cat-cow, lowering the navel point down towards the ground space, setting the chest forwards and upwards as you breathe in. And as you exhale, press down in towards the palms of the hands, rounding through the spine, pressing upwards through back of lungs. Bring it back towards your neutral as you inhale. And keeping all 10 of your toes tucked, send your bum backwards towards your heels. Really invite the little toes to the party here as you rest your bum space towards your heels. Now flip your palms upwards towards the sky and close your eyes. Now for some of you, this might have quite a lot of intensity in the sensation of it. But is there a way that you can just let yourself soften and breathe? Quite often it helps just to really think that, yes, there's this intensity in the foot space, but it is definitely localized. So maybe just breathe and settle into the enjoyment of softness that you feel in the rest of your bodies here. Toning through the breath as we take those generous inhales. And receiving the exhales. Here for 2 more, in through the nose. Exhaling out. And 1 more collectively, let's breathe in together. Open the mouths, let it out. Stunning. Seal your lips. Place your hands back down towards the ground, and keeping your toes tucked, start to slowly send your pelvis down towards the floor space, press into the palms. Now pushing towards the palms, draw the shoulders back and away from the ears. Lift through your heart, inhale. Pushing in towards the palms of the hands, lift your hips high to the sky. Bring it up and back into Adho Mukha, downward facing as you exhale. Let's cycle back through that. So send the knees back down towards the floor space. Lowering through pelvis, drawing it a little bit closer towards wrist, opening through chest as we inhale. Big as small as you choose. Lift your hips high to the ceiling space as you exhale. Let's do that 1 more time, rolling forwards, sending the knees just slowly down, a little bit of manipulation as you settle, softness, and then pressure in towards the palms as you lift up. And then pressing the hips up and back to the sky. You're in your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. As you pause into downward facing, can you just look towards your feet, wrap your heels behind your big toes? So there's, again, intention with how we place the feet. Pushing in towards your palms, your knees can absolutely be soft here, but can you keep the arms nice and long? Almost imagining for a moment at least that you're pressing your chest in towards your thighs. And let's feel the breath as we inhale. Keep the breath nasal as we exhale. There's an invitation here, if it's familiar in your practice, to find ujjayi breath. So creating that ocean sound in the back of the throat. Inhaling. Subtle restriction through exhale. Then we're going to take a rise towards our tiptoes. Look ahead of us towards our fingertips. Step your right foot, step your left foot towards the top of the mat space. Opening in towards your chest, take a halfway lift, inhale. Uttanasana to forward fold on exhale. Rising up to standing, lift your prayer high towards the ceiling, inhalation. Hands find side of body as we exhale. We're going to heel toe the feet about hip width distance apart. Grab a hold of your opposite elbows with your hands and make a box above your head. As you do this, can you press your elbows in towards your hands so there's a little bit of resistance and expansion through chest and shoulders? Pushing towards the big toes, take a lift through your sternum, inhale. And as you exhale, take a subtle bending of your knees. As you fold forwards, feel like the weight is almost going in towards the toes as you breathe your body over your thighs. Now, as you inhale, bend through the knees, pull your chest upwards first, then push through the feet and come all the way up to stand. 2 more here. So subtle bend through the knees, folding with the pitch forwards of the chest, lifting the hips as you bow the chin in towards the chest space, folding over the legs. Bending through the knees, driving upwards through the forearms, pressing through the heels as you come to stand. Once more like that, just warming up through the ankles, warming up through the hips, folding over your thighs. And then bending through the knees, pressing the forearms up towards the ceiling, pressing in towards the heart space, opening through the lungs, inhale. Reconnecting towards your neutral spine and release your hands by the sides of your bodies. Bring your prayer up towards the sky, Ardha Hastasana, gaze to thumbs, inhale. Forward fold, Uttanasana over your legs as you exhale. Take a lift of your chest space on the inhalation. Press in towards the palms of the hands and step it back in towards a tabletop position. As you find tabletop, lower slowly with your gaze forwards to tip of nose, baby chaturanga on exhale. Driving forwards into a small cobras, Bhujangasana, inhale. Tucking through toes and lifting through hips, Adho Mukha, downward facing as we exhale. 3 deep breaths in downward facing dog. Let's pull up through the knees, tone through the fronts of the thighs, inhale. Exhale. And breathing in. And breathing out. Moving to tiptoes, inhale. Step left foot, step right foot to top of mat as we exhale. Halfway lift your hearts, inhale. Chin to shin, forward fold, exhale. Rise through to standing, push through the feet, prayer goes high. Samastiti hi, hands find side of body, exhale. Arms go up towards sky, inhale. Uttanasana, forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift your heart space is inhale. Press in towards your palms. This time step it back in towards a high plank space. Knees can lower to ground or you can keep them elevated. Inhale. Press in towards palms. Feel that puff of air in towards the back of the lungs. Gaze stay steady. Inhale. Knees go down or Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Upward facing. Inhale. Downward facing. Lift your hips to the sky. Pause for 3. Inhale. Breathe for 2. And 1 more. Rising to tiptoes, look ahead. Step your feet to top of mat space. Land by end of out breath. Halfway lift your heart, inhale. Forward fold over thighs, exhale. Rising to standing, prayer goes up to sky, inhale. Samastiti hi, hands find side of body, exhale. Gentle rhythm builds in, arms go high, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Take a lift of your heart space on inhalation. As you exhale, step your left foot back, send your left knee down. Prayer goes forwards, then upwards, follow with drishti line, inhale, Anjaneyasana. Frame right foot as you exhale. Push into palms, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling space, inhale. Draw the knee towards the nose and plant the right foot between your palms, exhale. Stand on right foot, lift your left leg high to sky, make a standing split, inhale. Left foot steps next to right foot, top of mat, exhale. Rise up to standing, arms go high, inhale. Hands find side of body, Samastiti hi, exhale. Arms go up, inhale. Fold over thighs, exhale. Halfway lift, inhaling. Step back with the right foot, lower down with right knee. Prayer goes forwards and upwards, gaze to thumbs, inhale. Frame left foot, exhale. 3 leg downward facing, left leg to sky, inhale.
Knee to nose, foot to hands, exhale. Standing split, soft and light, inhale. Right foot next to left foot, exhale. We're rising here to work a little bit more through hamstrings, inhale. Hands find side of body, exhale. Beautiful. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose, inhale. Uttanasana, forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhaling. Pressing through palms, step straight back, chaturanga, or lower down through your knees. Upward facing, hips forwards, heart high. Downward facing, exhale, hips to sky. Take a moment to pause. Feel that little rush and surge of energy. Sit with it, breathe with it, don't stress it. Extend your right leg high to ceiling, inhale. Draw the knee towards the nose and pause as you exhale. Re-extend your right leg up towards the sky on inhale. Knee towards the nose, right foot in between the palms, exhaling. Rise up into a high lunge, inhale. Create stability, soften a little, exhale. Breathe to fingertips. Frame right foot. Bend your elbows, look ahead, chaturanga, lower down. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Left leg goes high. Knee towards the nose. Can you pull your shoulders forwards to fingertips? Hug left leg into chest. Re-extend high on inhale. Knee towards the nose, foot between the hands, exhale. Arms go up, high lunge, inhale. Breathe and soften perhaps, exhale. Energy through fingers. Frame left foot, step back, chaturanga, lower down. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Breathing in. As you press in towards your hands without moving your hands at all, could you imagine that your thumbs are pressing towards one another? Now notice what sensation that sends in towards the palms of the hands, the chest space, and the shoulder complex as a whole. See if you can mimic that with your feet, so we're really active and deliberate with how we use the mat space beneath us. Keep that sense of pressing. Take a rise to tiptoes as we inhale. Step, hop, float or fly. Land your feet to top of mat by end of exhale. Halfway to lift, inhalation. Uttanasana, forward fold, exhale. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose, inhale. Push through your feet, lengthen your legs, exhale. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, bending down, arms go high. Uttanasana, forward fold, breathe out. Lift your heart, inhale. Press through palms, step, hop, float or fly, you choose, exhale. Upward facing, full breath in. Downward facing, exhale out. Hold and linger for the inhale. Distill for the exhale. Right leg goes high to the ceiling space, take a breath in. Draw your knee towards your nose and pause, exhale. Look ahead of you, squeeze the leg in towards the chest, press into the hands. Re-extend your right leg high, inhale. Knee towards the nose and the right foot in between your palms, exhale. Rise up in towards your high crescent lunge, inhale. Now as you exhale, bend your two knees, flex your hands and press the arms out towards the side of the space. Can you draw back through your navel and almost feel like you're pressing your frontal left hip point further forwards? Find your energy to settle. Keep flexing the hands, that's super hard for me, pressing the heels of the hands away. Focusing here for one more breath, inhale. Now push down, lift your arms all the way high towards the sky. Two long legs create a prayer above the head. Reach through the fingers, inhale, subtle back bend. Push through the right big toe, bend your elbows and hug the arms around the skull. In through the nose for one. Releasing, fold over your right leg, single-legged forward fold here. Take a lift of your heart space, inhale. Bend your left knee, send it down to ground, exhale. Shift it back, half Hanumanasana. Flexion through the right foot. Push through fingers, pull your chest forwards, pull your right hip back. Take a full and deep breath in through the nose. One more, inhaling. Bending in towards your right knee, exhale. Step back, chaturanga, straight to soft elbows, breath out. Upward facing inhale. Downward facing exhale. Left leg extends to the sky, inhale. Knee towards the nose, exhale. So it's kind of like a glorified sun salutation B, just with a little bit more stuff. Keep pressing in towards palms, feel the breath in. Re-extend your left leg high, inhale. Knee towards the nose and the foot between your hands as you exhale. Rising in towards your high crescent, inhale. But we bend through our two knees, arms go outwards, flexion through hands. Now pushing your right frontal hip points by almost tucking through your pubic bone a little bit. Squeeze on through that right glute, lengthen through the front right hip points. Press the hands away. Soften everything that doesn't need to be tense right now. Breathe for 2. You've got this, hold for 1. Now push down, lengthen 2 long legs, inhale. I'm on the ball of my back toe, my left leg is straight. Lift up with the prayer, open through heart, inhale. Bend through your elbows, exhale. Can you hug the head? Support the back bend, lengthen through the hips for 1. And releasing, tip the weights and the hands to the ground. You're just kissing the floor space with fingers. You're lifting the chest for a full breath in. Right knee goes down, you're out of it, exhale. Flexion through the left foot. Half Hanumanasana here for a little longer. So pulling back on that left hip space. Full flexion through the toes. Inhale. Exhale. Keep that flexion, that curling of toes to nose. Beautiful. Bending towards the left knee, pressing towards the hands. Chaturanga Dandasana, lower down. Upward facing inhale. Downward facing exhale. Breathe in downward facing dog here for 2. We're going to start to step the feet just that little bit closer together. This is entirely optional. You're going to push in towards that palms, feel that pressure we cultivated. Rise to tiptoes, inhale, look ahead. Now keep looking ahead. Take a little bend of the knees, maybe tiptoe the feet, or press and jump upwards, land feet to top of mat. Open your heart, inhale. Fold over your thighs, exhale. Bend your knees, find Utkatasana chair pose on the inhalation. Here we're going to hold chair. So as you bend through the knees and reach up through your fingers, we're going to take that box above our head, holding our arms once more. Feel that you have two-way action. Probably definitely more than 2 ways, but definitely weight into heels. Forearms drawing upwards, expand your breath. Here for 3, inhaling. Here for 2. Breath through 1. Hands find side of body. Prayer goes up towards the ceiling space. Inhale. Bring your hands in towards prayer at heart space as you exhale. Take a lift of your chest on inhale. Parita Utkatasana, left arm outside of right leg. Pressing in towards the prayer, spiral your gaze, inhale. Maybe you want to pause exactly as you are, or you might want to take your left fingertips down towards the mat space or your bricks. Lift your right arm high, inhale. And maybe carry the right arm alongside the head. Pulling back on left hip. Holding for 3, inhale. Holding for 2. Here for 1. Breathe it all the way back. Knees stay bent. Utkatasana, inhale. Hands find heart, exhale. Lift to prepare, inhale. You are there as you exhale. Parita Utkatasana, breathe in to lift. Maybe to stay, or if you visited it first side, right hand might go down, left arm could go up or alongside the head. Look into the palm, scoop back through the navel, inhale. The work here is really in the wrapping of the right knee drawing backwards, right hip drawing backwards, and the right rib cage lifting to the left. Arms go by your side, Utkatasana, inhale. We're going to fold over thighs, Uttanasana, exhale. Heel to your feet about hip width distance. Lift your heart, inhale. Grab a hold of your big toes with your peace fingers. So that's your first finger and your middle finger. And then you'll hook with your thumb. Push your toes into your fingers. And as you push your toes into your fingers, you're trying to pull your toes away from the mat with your hands. So we have this two-way connection, this lock. Shift your weight forward so you're in your toes, not your heels. Inhale. Bend your elbows to the side of the space and use the muscles of the arms and chest to fold over your legs. Padangusthasana. Keep it really active. Keep the seals, maybe lifting navel to spine. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. Hips might go a little bit higher. Feel like you're lifting from underneath your bums, top of your hamstrings, sit bones, pubic bone to the sky for one more breath. Inhale. Now push through the toes, lift your heart in opposing directions, breathe in. Send your hands down towards the ground, exhale. Without lifting your hands, bend your knees as much as you need to keep them planted. Take a breath, lift your chest. Keep looking forwards. Jump back, chaturanga, lower down. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Hold downward facing dog, full breath in through the nose. Exhale out. Gorgeous. Right leg goes high to the sky, inhale. Knee towards the nose and foot between your hands, exhale. We revisit high lunge. So lifting arms towards the ceiling space on the inhalation here. But we're going to bend in towards the right knee as we exhale. As you bend into the right knee, you can definitely kind of flirt with your flexibility a little bit here. Send your right shin a little further forwards, press it back through your left heel. And maybe there's a little bit of a shift of weight, sort of understanding where it is you want to sit. I don't want you to be totally passive and hanging out, so you're just above it slightly, but leaning into maybe what that expression might look like. You can pause, you can lift and create a prayer. Send your gaze towards your thumbs, rooting through toes and heel for 3. Inhale. For 1. Neutralize your spine, lift up a little bit, inhale. Send your left arm forwards, your right arm back as you exhale. Now as you reach back, reach with your right fingers and reach forwards with your left. Hold here, or right hand towards back of left leg, left arm to sky, inhale. One more breath in. Right arm lifts to ceiling space, inhale. Shorten the stance, fall over if you're me, ground down your left heel. Reach up through your arms, inhale. We're going to take a parallel fold. So single leg forward fold, right leg is long, left heel is long and grounded. Reach through your fingers. Imagine you're pulling your chest beyond your right foot here, inhaling. Exhaling. Stay parallel, pull up the right knee for 2. Breath in this for 1. Send your fingertips down towards the ground space. Inhale, lift your heart. Pivot to the ball of the left toe. Holding here, take a full breath. Stay on the ball of the left toe. Maybe start to walk your hands backwards to the back of the mat space. Pause as you are. Look through. There's an option for those of you that might want it to press in towards your fingers. Peel your gaze and look forwards beyond the top of your mat space. Keep pushing down towards your fingers. Maybe squeeze the left heel in towards the bum. Find fallen flamingo, inhale. Steady breath for 1. Let's revisit that forward fold together, single-legged. Hands either side of the right foot, open through the chest, inhale. Send your left knee down to the ground now as you exhale. Pull your chest forwards a little bit. And then we're going to shift the bum backwards. You're going to walk your hands closer towards your left knee and actually fully allow your bum to sit into your left heel here. Right foot is flexed, so we're going to bring the hands a little bit wider, pull up through the chest on the inhale. Maybe start to crawl them a little bit further outwards as you fold over that right leg on an exhale. Weight and softness through head, heart, and chest. And you could choose to pause here, or you're going to move your right hand a little bit closer to the edge of the mat space. You're going to drive your heart upwards and bring your left hand to the outer edge of your right foot. Push in towards your right hand and start to lift the right leg up towards the nose. Breathing into this for 2, inhale. Balancing in the space for 1. Then we're going to lower the right foot back down towards the ground if we lifted it. Everyone bending towards the right knee, shift your weight forwards. Bring your arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana as you inhale. Now open your arms outwards as you exhale. Can you shift off the bony part of your knee? And can you reach through your fingers firmly? Maybe you're going to choose to stay, you're going to squeeze the left heel in towards your back here. As you squeeze the heel in, and reach the arms to the edges of your spaces. Breathing through the nose, inhale. Lengthen through that frontal hip point, exhale. Here for 2 more breaths, in through nose. Softness as you breathe through 1. Release the left toes, swoop your arms to the sky, inhale. Turn through Prasarita, wide leg fold as you exhale. You're going to breathe into the halfway lift of your heart on the inhalation. Now here as you exhale, walk your hands a little bit closer towards your toes, not too far. Pressing towards the palms, hug the elbows in, lift your chest. And almost start to tip your pelvis upwards like you're sticking your bum out. As you lift the pelvis, can you fold yourself? And rather than the head going down, could you maybe feel forearms lowering and as if you're going to kiss the floor space? Keep tipping your hips up. Do not worry how low you are. Breathe into this for 2, inhaling. Breathe into this for 1. Pressing in towards your hands, lifting through your chest space as you inhale. You're going to turn to the back of the mat. Keep your right foot where it is, bend in towards your left knee, rise up into Virabhadrasana B, Warrior 2. As you bend in towards your left knee, efficiently find your focus down your left middle finger. Find that sense of rooting, that sense of clarity and calm. Inhale. One more full breath. We're going to start to lengthen through our left leg here. Maybe heel toe your right foot in just a little bit. Shift back with your right hip, reach forward through your left fingers. Utthita Trikonasana, we're going to send the left hand maybe beyond the center of the mat towards the right heel of the foot. Right arm is going high, inhale. Arm carries alongside the head as we exhale. Breathe in through the nose. You can stay, or it might be that you take the right hand a little bit wider and you thread the left arm underneath the left leg. And there's more of this sense of folding through the center of the legs, as if the head and the body has become the left arm and the left arm is threaded under thigh. Elongate the spines. Inhale. One more. Gorgeous. Walking yourselves back, everyone in towards Utthita Trikonasana, right arm high, inhale. Turn the left toes in. We're going to turn towards the front of the mat. Left fingertips reach beyond front left edge. Right hand comes behind right heel. We lift left leg to sky, standing split. Pull the chest up, inhale. Option to pause, maybe folding the leg and body closer. One hand to stabilize you. Or the second hand moves behind the back of the ankle as well. One more. Hands to ground, heart to sky, inhale. Step back with left foot, exhale. Extend and lift your right leg up towards the sky, 3-legged downward facing, inhale. Take it forwards in towards high plank. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing on the inhale. Downward facing, hips go high, exhale. Breathe in through the nose. Rise through to tiptoes and send the knees down towards the ground. Take a little moment, sending bumps to heels. Child's pose or just to that high kneel. So really feeling in towards the stability of the postures here. I want that to be something that you continue to do. This is not a practice of really throwing everything away, but staying within this container of your bodies, almost as if that was your home space. So we're going to inhale. I have 2 different options for you. Option 1, you're going to send your left arm forwards ahead of you to the top of the mat space. And then you're going to thread your right arm underneath your left arm. Start to rotate the gaze, and you could tuck through the left toe here, and you might want to extend through the right leg, and just feel that rolling of the arms and torso. A second option, if you're someone that likes to play with inversions, we're going to bring the right forearm down towards the ground and extend the left arm towards the side of the mat space. Pushing in towards the hands, we're going to tuck through the toes and lift the hips. Now, we're not going to shorten this too much today. We're going to push down and work to lift the right hip a little bit higher to the sky. Pressing through right forearm, left fingertips as much as we can. Maybe to pause or maybe to start to lift your right leg up towards the sky. Holding here in the asymmetry of this. 3 steady breaths. Inhale. See if you can lift your sternum a little higher. Keep the calmness and the clarity. You have 1. We're releasing. As the feet go down, can the hands take you straight back to downward facing? We will meet in Adho Mukha, hips are high to the ceiling. We take a breath. Inhale. Left leg goes up towards the sky space. Deep breath in. Knee towards the nose and the left foot moves in between your hands. Rising into that really expansive high lunge as we inhale. Bending through the legs, exhale. So it's a really long one side. I'm aware of that. Feel that sense of lift. You know what's coming-ish, but let yourself try to just stay present. Don't race to the next thing. Maybe there's a little bit more depth in this as you lower through pelvic space. Perhaps the prayer is coming high. Here for 3, inhale. Neutral spine. Come up a little bit. Right arm forwards, left arm back. Now really think about moving your right rib cage on the central axis. Inhale. Holding or perhaps sending left hand to back of right leg, reaching upwards through right fingertips. I pull up through my right hip, pull up through the underneath of my right shoulder blade. One more breath. 2 arms go high to sky. Inhale. Here's the wobbly bit. Ground down your right heel, shorten your stance. That's extra wobbly for me today. Take a full breath. Inhale. Pull back on your left hip. So that isn't your driving force, that's your backbone. Send your crown and head further away. Pull the left knee up, press into the right heel, and also wrap into the little toe sides of the feet. Give yourself a really nice wide surface area. Reach your fingers, inhale. Bring a little bit of that breath and lift through the navel, exhale. I like to lead with my chest a little bit, just to maintain that sense of length and then revisit the lift of the navel to the spine. See if you can lift your arms perhaps a little higher than the backs of the ears. Inhale for 1. Exhale, hands go down. Now shift to the ball of the right toe. Maybe you bring the earth to you by using your bricks. Inhale. Absolutely stay or walk your hands a little further backwards if that feels available today. Lift through your chest space, perhaps pressing down. Don't go forward, stay low. Push into the hands, round and pull up as you draw the knee in. Maybe fallen flamingo, heel to bum, inhale. I feel this in my arms and shoulders. 1 more breath. Right toes go down, let's all meet. In that single-legged forward fold, pull up your heart space, inhale. Send your right knee down, exhale. Here's when we're going to shift back beyond half Hanumanasana. So walking your hands back towards your knee, send your bum towards your heel. I like to take my arms nice and wide. Take a breath, inhale, pull your chest up. Exhale, crawl your hands perhaps a little wider. Keep the flexion in the left foot. Soften and round through your heart space. Beautiful, you can stay. We're going to shorten the distance between left hand and left edge of mat. Right hand goes outside of the foot, push down. Body and thigh connected, pull up. Remember, but this is about feeling spaces. So how do you work into the pose? How do you navigate it in your bodies? And if you're thinking, oh, this isn't quite there for me, it is there. Just stay with where you're at. Feel the discipline, inhale. Landing the left foot down, exhale. Now bending in towards that left knee, we shift forwards. Vinyasa, can you bring some weight off the bony part of your knee? Lift your arms, inhale high. Now as you exhale, arms dive out to the side of the space. There is energy through fingers. Perhaps to stay or to squeeze the heel in. So I'm thinking about reaching through my arms, lifting up a little bit and then softening front of pelvis forwards. I'm actively trying to keep this heel
almost in a parallel space as much as feels available. Maybe there's a little lift of the chest, but I'm not focusing on my deepest expression. Keep angling and rooting through left heel, inhale. Let's take an extra breath, more through fingers for 1. We release, exhale. This is going to turn through Prasarita, wide leg fold. Toes stay turning inwards. Now this time, lift through your heart space, inhale. As you exhale, walk the hands back a little bit, push through the palms, and start to heel toe your feet to the edges of the mat. So your feet can stay connected down towards the ground. Maybe your hands work a little bit closer. Now, if you're super flexy, we're going to keep the toes, even the little toe side of the foot, connected to the floor. Arms are almost in a chaturanga space, and you're opening into Samikhanasana, so almost that box split place. Pressing through palms, inhale. Feel your sense of softness for 2. Open through your hips for 1. Now push in towards your hands. Heel toe the feet back in, so it's all meet in Prasarita. Inhale to lift your heart, expand your chest. Turn your right toes towards the back of the mat. Rise up to Virabhadrasana B, Warrior 2. Efficiently feeling gaze down that right hand, inhale. Play with flexibility, exhale, but stay contained within the shape. One more. Heel toe that left foot in a little bit. Shift your hips back. Move into Trikonasana, but bypass the leg. Send the hand beyond the center of the mat, maybe to left heel. Don't worry about your shape too much. I want you to feel that pushing into the ground. Maybe the carriage of the left arm alongside the head. You can stay, or that left hand can travel wide. Right arm threads underneath the back of the right leg. Arms expanding, you're closing the gap. Head in towards the leg, tone through the thighs still. Really active with your feet for 3. Inhale. Here for 2. We revisit Utthita Trikonasana, and right hand goes down. Left arm circles up towards the ceiling, inhale. We move towards the top of the mat, so turn the right toes in. We're moving into standing split, so the right hand can go wide, left hand behind the back of the ankle. Shifting the weight in towards the left foot, right leg goes high. Inhale, I like to pull my heart forwards. See the space ahead and then think about folding with a little lift of the head space here, so not fully dropped. Maybe to stay, or if you feel balanced, taking 2 hands behind the back of the ankle. And this moment is really actually beautiful. If you're shifting and wobbling, let yourself shift and wobble. Can you create a sense of stilling in the mind? And let that disperse and trickle into the rest of the body. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Just remembering that your practice is a companion or a mirror to the self. Don't get grumpy, inhale. Step back with the right foot, exhale, hands find the earth. Left leg lifts up towards the ceiling space as you inhale. Shifting it forwards, feel that breath, super snaky. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, expand the hearts. Downward facing, exhale, lift the hips. So either you're going to start to rise to tiptoes and the knees down. Extend your right arm forwards and thread your left arm through, and then extending left leg back. Or you're going to start to bring your left forearm down to the ground. Your right arm wide on a subtle diagonal backwards from your left elbow. Pressing down, don't shorten today, just push up. Feel into those spaces, left forearm, hips are high. Shifting weight maybe into right toe, elevating left leg to sky. Now pull your sternum up. Connect with breath, push into the earth, yield into the space for 3, inhale. Using support of the floor for energy for 2. And release. Everyone back down to ground. Right hand meets the mat, hips lift to the ceiling, find downward facing dogs. Breath in downward facing, inhale.
Gorgeous. Take a rise to the tiptoes, look ahead. Landing your feet as you need and choose to top of mat by end of exhalation, Lift your hearts on the inhale. Uttanasana to forward fold, exhale. Rise through to standing, bring your prayer high to sky, inhale. Hands find side of body, exhale. Take a little moment, close your eyes. Roll your palms forwards. Arms to sky, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway to lift, inhalation. Hands go down to ground, exhalation. Jump back, sit back, chaturanga. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. So from this space, we're going to reach for our bricks if you have them. If not, you'll find your way down towards the ground. Everything is the same. Just have a conscious awareness of how you're moving. If you have your bricks, take them just beyond the center of the mat space and place your hands on top of them. We're going to rise through to tiptoes as we inhale. Look forwards. See where it is that you want to go and push in towards your hands to lift your hips up. You might start to walk your feet through, tiptoeing bit by bit, feeling that space where you can lift through the chest, maybe extending through one leg, reaching ahead, stepping back, lifting hips, and then perhaps flexing and sending the second leg through, reaching back, lifting hips. Either you're going to do that and then eventually find your seat towards the ground, or you're going to press in towards the hands, into the bricks, lift through the heart, see where you want to go. I'm looking ahead of my mat, take a breath, inhale, jump through, send the seat down, exhale. If it wasn't glamorous, very fine. Mostly for me, 99% of the time is not glamorous. Flexion through your feet. Let's anchor in towards the heels. Lift up through the waist, lift up through the arms. Just feel into how hard it is actually just to sit up straight. Curl the little toes back, keep effort, inhale. We go up and we fold forwards as we exhale. You can reach for toes, edges of the feet, or maybe the hands. I like to bring my feet together, use my wrist to pull my toes back, hold onto my left wrist with my right palm. Inhale like a little lift. Exhale, folding over your thighs, elbows elevated. Two here, inhale. Breathing one. Pull your gaze forwards, inhale. See your feet. Lift up a little higher, move your hands behind your back. Purvattanasana, you can bring soles of the feet down or press down. Press into big toes, lift your hips up, roll your shoulders. Think about switching on the calves by pressing into the big toes of the feet, wrapping through the heart. Maybe opening through the throat for 3, inhale. Pull your head forwards if you let it go. Send the seat back down towards the ground. Draw your right foot in towards the calf of your left leg. Left foot is flexed, lift your arms high, inhale. Now, as you exhale, you're going to start to fold over your left leg. Arms again can go wide, or you're going to grab a hold of the left foot. Again, holding the toes or reaching forward to grab a hold of your heel. Now, either you can stay in the fold or push in towards the right little toe side of the foot and start to hug your left leg up. Feel how that switches on the outer edge of your hip. Send your left heel a little further forwards. Goal is actually to keep this leg quite low. Breathe into that heel, inhale. I am shaking, exhale. Send the left foot back down towards the ground. Pull your chest forwards, lift your arms high. Inhale, now listen up. Turn over your right shoulder to the back of the mat. Pivoting left toes down. Hands meet earth and extend your right leg to the sky. 3-legged downward facing dogs. Draw the knee towards the nose and plant the right foot in between your hands. Send your left knee low towards the ground. Open through your chest as you inhale. Set your left bum cheek back towards your left heel, flexion through your right foot, exhale. Lifting in towards your heart, scoot your hands back, pull your chest forwards, take a breath in. We're going to start to send the right heel forwards. Left toes are tucked, press down. And now start to elevate your left knee. Heel of the right foot down into the ground, chest forwards, inhale. Everyone stay lifted, pull back on that right hip, keep your left toe tucked. You can say if you want to explore going a little bit deeper, send your right heel ahead of you, take an inhale. Maybe right heel still keeps reaching ahead of you and you start to extend and lower down. If you go all the way down, keep the left toe tucked. Maybe there's a sense of lifting, reaching upwards through your arms. Hanumanasana, inhale. One more breath. Hands down if they were elevated. Meet back, pressing in towards the right foot, bending in towards the right knee. Step it straight back to downward facing on the back of your mat space. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Rising through to tiptoes, inhale. Stepping, floating, take your bricks. We make our way all the way down to seat. So this time, right leg will go long. Left foot eventually meets the calf or the ankle. Lift your arms high, inhale. So it's nice and long, not quite joining Shavasana A where it pulls in. It's a nice and extended inhale. Reach forwards on the exhale. Press into the little toe side of that left foot so it's really active. Take what you need, inhale, active. Or folding, everything is still active, reaching into flexibility for 3, inhale. Flexion through that right heel wherever you are for 2. Leg goes down on 1. Pull your chest forwards, lift your heart, inhale. Turning over your left shoulder as you exhale to the top of the mat space. Right foot goes down, left leg goes high to sky. 3 leg downward facing, inhale. Knee towards the nose and the foot between the hands as you exhale. Right knee lowers, heart pulls upwards, inhaling. Shifting back as we exhale. So walking the hands back a little bit, push down, lift through your hearts. Send your heel ahead of you. Pulling up through your chest, inhale. Left hip pulling back. Right toes tucked, hover with the right knee, lift up, sail away, move away from your flexibility here rather than dropping in. Pull up through the chest. Now send your left heel further forwards. See if you can extend the space rather than drop into the space. And then start to breathe as you settle and lower. Right toe stays tucked. Maybe arms to sky, inhale. One more breath. Hands go back down. Push down, this time just bending in towards that left knee. Shifting the weight, hands go down, just step straight back, downward facing dogs. Hold downward facing, inhaling. Gorgeous. Let's take a collective breath in through the nose. Exhale, open the mouths. Rising to tiptoes, inhale. Stepping, hopping, floating to a seat as we exhale. Gorgeous. So soles of the feet are going to go down towards the ground. Grab what you need here. Reach for your fingers on the inhalation and start to roll down through your spine 1 vertebrae at a time. Can you keep the big toes connected? Reaching through the fingers and just scooting the feet in a little bit here. Take a moment on your back bodies just to feel it. Don't narrate it. Don't ask for reasoning. Don't ask for why. We've worked into the elements of earth, back of the bodies. Notice what you notice. So after moving through all of the foundations, the bills, the utilities of the body, we're just going to layer in a little bit of that fire to bring us to a space of expansion, maybe a little bit of rebellion, maybe a little bit of heat, to find that balance in the body. So we're going to extend the left leg long towards the bottom corner of the mat and slightly off the mat space. Left arm is going to go wide on a diagonal beyond the top left corner of the mat. Then cross your right ankle on top of your left ankle and bring your right hand in towards your left hand. Banana asana. And there's very little aim or goal here, but you start to soften a little bit through the chest as you breathe into the right side flank of the bodies. Here for 3.
And slowly just moving that by sending the right foot towards the bottom right corner of the mat, right arm, and then crossing left ankle, placing left hand. And I do really urge you to stay until the practice concludes and closes, so you can leave with a sense of settling, a sense of balance within the self. And then journeying that back, bring the soles of the feet down towards the ground space and expand the arms outwards. You're going to cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh here. And just move your right hand towards the inner seam of the right leg as you press the knee forwards. Take an inhalation. And keeping that figure four shape, can you start to drop the right sole of the foot towards the left edge of the mat? And here you can open the right arm outwards towards the side of the space. We keep that right knee up towards the sky. Maybe supporting that right knee if it feels like it's dropping in a little bit by just placing the left hand towards the inner seam of the leg. And drawing that all the way back up through center. And setting the right sole of the foot down towards the ground. Careful and considered with all of your transitions. Left ankle crosses to right thigh. Left hand places to inner seam of leg. Take a breath, inhale. Then exhale, just to start to tip that weight. Left sole of the foot goes down. Maybe you feel this a little bit more on one side of your body than the other. I definitely feel it quite considerably more on my left-hand side. It's normal. Breathe and take what you need from the pose you're in. And drawing that back through center. And bring the legs in towards the chest space. Wrap the arms in front of the shins and just rock and roll from one side to the next. Little massage for the spines. Before closing the legs in towards one another, lift the nose to meet the knees as you inhale. Make this tiny ball. And as you exhale, either you'll start to rock up to close your practice in seated meditation, or start to release yourselves to the ground and close with your shravasanas. Take a breath together. Inhale. Low and wide. If you can stay here for longer, then please stay here for longer. If you're feeling cool to move a little bit, just start to feel back into the bodies. Maybe there's a sense of weight, a sense of heaviness through the bones, maybe through the muscles, maybe even through the organs. It's collective settling of the self. And we don't want to disturb that as we reawaken ourselves. So see if you can just be really tender with the movements of your fingers as they start to wiggle. Maybe rolling through the ankles or licking the lips. Making a choice if you want to gather yourselves inwards, or maybe you want to roll over towards one side of the body and just pause in this space. Reminder to soften everything. And then eventually we will start to bring ourselves all the way up in towards that seated space. Keep your eyes closed if you can keep your eyes closed. And I like to bring my hands in towards prayer at the heart space, but if you prefer to take the hands to the bellies or hands over heart, then you do just that. Nonetheless, we energetically seal the practice inwards. We're reminding ourselves that we exist within the feelings as if our body was a vessel. We are a container of ourselves. But that doesn't mean that everything has to silently exist within. So take note of something that you want to pour outwards into the world, whether that was a sense of loving kindness, a sense of stability, a sense of care or hope. So if you're trying to share your own learnings and experiences of the practice with those that you come into contact with around you, pausing as you are or lifting thumbs to Ajna Chakra, space between the eyebrows. Continue to practice, continue to show up, and all is coming. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for a beautiful practice. I really hope you enjoyed it and dissecting that little bit more of that standing element of sometimes what we might do in a long mandala practice. Perhaps wasn't super noticeable, but was that space as well. So I hope to see you for so many more, and I can't wait to practice with you soon. Bye-bye.